In this video, I'm going to give you 5 amazing new cocktails that you can make with your favourite honey whiskey. I did say Jack Daniels, but stay tuned. There's a little curveball coming. So this is being recorded as a live stream. We are going to dive straight into cocktail number 1. And this is kind of like a honey and amaretto sour. This works amazingly well. And I have tried all these recipes. So first things first, we want our honey whiskey. Now, the eagle-eyed viewers amongst you will notice this is not Jack Daniels honey. This is actually an Irish whiskey from the Bohan distillery. This is the Whistler. This stuff is incredible. But I want to make this point straight out the gate. If you've got Jack Daniels honey, feel free to use it. Jim Beam honey, if they still make it, feel free to use it. What's the big Canadian brand that does a Jim Beam honey, a honey whiskey? You can use that as well. So I'm using this throughout this video, but these cocktails will work for every single honey whiskey. So we're going straight in. 25ml. And the recipes, if you are watching this live, the recipes are already in the description below. 25ml of your Irish whiskey. We're going split base. We're going 25ml of an amaretto. And as I've said previously, I love this amaretto because it is more marzipan. No, and I'm big marzipan advocate, so flipping love that. Right, we've got that. We are going for some lemon juice. So 25 at the moment. 25ml of lemon juice. Perfect. I'm going to whack some bitters in here, and I'm using my Ms Betters Bitters, my aromatic bitters there. And I'm going to go for 2 pipettes, equivalent of basically 2 dashes of Angostura bitters. So you go for that. Now, I'm not going to use any sugar in this. The honey whiskey is going to be sweet enough. The amaretto I use is sweet enough, so I don't think you need any sugar for this. But whatever foaming agent you're going to use, I'm a big proponent of this at the moment. It just works for what I do with hen parties and stuff like this. This is Aquafaba, you know. And if you watch Dan Fellows, STB 2.0 has kind of covered it as well. They've kind of gone, not chickpea juice, butterbean juice if you want. But this is, you know, for me doing hen parties and things like this is perfect. So I'm just going 20ml of Aquafaba. You can get this, if you're in the UK, you can get this from Waitrose, from Ocado, from Tesco's. It is really super easy to get. So we'll leave that, and that should be all the ingredients. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right. So quick bit of ice, icy. And then shaky. We're going to serve it up in this glass, I think. Could do it in martini or a coupe glass if you wanted to. But that'll do. I'm just going to serve it up in there. Right. This didn't sound too bad last week, did it? Shaking with my little mic there. So, right. Lovely, jubbly. Right, and then let's, not that one, let's use this one because that's right there. Get rid of that ice cube. Just strain that. I do like, the other little touch I like doing as well is I do like adding a little bit of bitter. So I've got a brand just local to me that I've spoken about quite a few times, but for most of you guys, it will be Campari. 5 to 15ml of Campari in a kind of amaretto sour like this just works absolutely amazingly well. But we all know in the US, their amarettos are a split base of whiskey to amaretto anyway. It's not so much done here in the UK. In all our chain bars, they are very much 50ml, 60ml of amaretto. But I do like that split base, so that really works a treat. And we are going for an orange. Dried orange. There we go. Right, straw, cocktail number 1, done. Now this stuff, let's give you a little close-up of that so you can see. This stuff is 2% ABV weaker than Jack Daniels, but I would say it's got a relatively similar sweetness to it. But it's got this little sort, I call this liquid crunchy. It's got this kind of chocolatey note to it as well. I think it's absolutely phenomenal. But as I say, these will work really well for Jack Daniels honey as well. So that is cocktail number 1, a honey amaretto sour. Right. So if you like me, if you like the stream, if this video is providing you value, then please do hit that like button. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel. It really, really helps me. So let's move on to cocktail number 2. And this is a honey and passion fruit mule, kind of mule or stormy or whatever you want to call it. I'm going to serve it up in a highball glass, but I am actually going to shake a little bit of it. I think this could be benefit with shaking. So this is 50 ml of this, all right? So we're going all in. So 50 ml, there's no split base of your Jack Daniels honey, of your Jim Beam honey. I can't think what's the American. For those of you watching live, get involved in the comments below. What is the Canadian whiskey brand that does all the flavours? I can't think of it at the moment. It's huge. Mental block. Anyway, so we've got that. We're going for some Chinola because I fell in love with this recently. This is really good stuff. 20 ml. This is essentially rum, Dominican Republic rum, blended with Dominican Republic passion fruit. So it's like a boozy passion fruit puree. All right, it's really, really good stuff. Not overly sweet, all right, but it's really, really good. Lime juice, what have I put? I put 15 ml, of course I have. 15 ml of lime juice in there. And right, the one thing I want to add here is agave. Now, I only recommend doing this if you are using a drier ginger beer. If your ginger beer is quite sweet, you will not need a sweetener with this at all. But my ginger beer, it's not the driest ginger beer in the world. Fever Tree is a lot drier. But the Franklin's and Sons that I use is drier than Old Jamaica, for example, and all those other brands that you get in the supermarket. So I'm just going to add just a tiny, tiny little drizzle. 7.5, 10 ml of agave. Love agave in this. Right. So very quick shake in there. Don't need to do too much because it is going to get served up over ice, but I just want to combine those ingredients so we can kind of do this properly. Right? There we go. That'll do. Quick shake. I noticed I'm getting chastised in the comments for not shaking for long enough, but here we go. That's all right. That's all right. You don't. This is just shaking to combine the ingredients together. This is not shaking to chill a cocktail. Right, here we go. Perfect. So lovely, nice highball. Franklin's and Sons, that's the brand I'm talking about. If you haven't seen it, Franklin's and Sons ginger beer. Perfect. So honey and passion fruit works so well together. We know that. I mean, you could swap honey in for your porn star martinis and it works an absolute treat. So this is just going to be amazing. They've got those little chocolate notes. Chocolate and passion fruit works really, really well together. Kind of want to do this at the same time. There we go. Right. Perfect. And I should, yeah, look at that. You see that? I've used just about half a bottle of ginger beer there, so about 100 ml. All right, that should be fantastic. And I've even got my garnishes ready this week. So we've got a little bit of mint that I've already pulled out to one side. And passion fruit, dried passion fruit from Ferrand. There we go, boom. So let's pop that to one side. Oh my God, that's so good. Passion fruit first and foremost. But you get this lovely honey just coming through there. Honey and passion fruit is amazingly well. But just that little bit at the end, that little bit of chocolate note, as I say, liquid crunchy from that is just absolutely fantastic. I really, really love that. So if you are watching this live, which of these two so far would you make? Do you like the look of? Would you try either of these, or are you wanting something else? Now, before I dive into cocktail number 3, obviously mixers for like this, if you're going for a straightforward highball, I would say the best thing for a honey whiskey is ginger. Whether you are ginger ale, whether you are ginger beer, both of those work really, really well. A traditional lemonade is going to work really well. Something like, so I don't have a traditional lemonade, but I have like a Sicilian lemon tonic here, which is almost the similar thing. That's going to work really, really well. Remember, what was the Jack Daniels? I think it might have been Jim Beam, actually. It wasn't the Kentucky Mule. There was another cocktail that they made. Lynchburg, there we go, the Lynchburg lemonade. So you could just do, so Lynchburg, it was whiskey, it was triple sec, bit of lemon juice, bit of sugar, and lemonade or soda water. You could replicate that with your honey whiskey as well. So, but I would just do a traditional lemonade. It's really, really simple. So 3, simple-ish highballs there. You don't need to get too involved. Yes, Coke will work as well. I would say this is a little bit sweet for Coke. But if you've got a sweet tooth, heck, go for it. So they're the first 2. The next one we're going to do, I'm going to shake again, and it's a honey cooler. Now, cooler is a big thing in whiskey world. It's essentially apple juice. So it's your whiskey and apple juice. But we are going to add a couple of little extra flavors to this to kind of bring this to life. So again, I am going to shake this cocktail. Let's just quickly rinse that. There we go. So, 50 ml double bubble of your honey whiskey again. There we go, 50 ml double bubble of that. Then I want some dry orange Curacao, Grand Marnier, triple sec, whatever you've got. I just want an orange liqueur. Orange and honey, obviously, works really, really well together. Just 15 ml of this, 1.5. Go. If you're watching live as well, if you've got any other kind of other liqueurs that you would swap this for, I was thinking Liqueur 43 as well. Those sort of vanilla-y notes. I'm not using Liqueur 43 at all in this video, but I think that could work quite well. So again, let us know in the comments. Get involved in the comments what you're thinking there. It's going to be lemon juice, 15 ml of lemon juice. And then just to add a little bit of flavour, but not too much sort of sweetness in there, I am going for, especially in the UK, this is one of my favourite syrups here. This is Monin's Winter Spice Syrup. Basically cinnamon, ginger, nutmeg, clove, chilli. Really easy to get. You can get it in most wholesalers. I think Master of Malt have got a really good sort of supply line of it now. Not too much. You don't need too much of this. And as I say, if you use too much, it will make it sweet. So I'm just going about 7.5. We've got about 8 ml there, if I'm being honest. But 7.5 to 10 ml. Adjust to your own palate. And then the apple juice I use is always 100% pressed apple juice. I never use the clear stuff. It's quite sweet. It's quite syrupy. But the 100% pressed stuff sometimes can be a little bit sweet, but if you get a decent reputable brand, Corsten Press, this is here in the UK, it's actually just apples. It's just apples and tastes really, really good. So I'm just going to do 75 ml of this. Let's just use that again. Actually, let's take it up to 80 because I've got a line now at 30. So I've got 80 ml of apple juice. So again, quick, shaky. I might do a shake and dump for this one, so we'll fill that up completely with ice cubes. Get that out. There we go. Shaky. Lovely, jubbly. Should we do that? I've got loads of ice. I've got my really cool, can you sort of see that? My really cool glitch glass. I love this thing. Let's do fresh ice. We've got enough ice in here. Perfect. Right, that'll do. Strainer. Need to wash up, don't I? Same thing with live shows. You don't get, you don't get all the cleaning away in between. You just get debris with a video that you kind of edit and chop up. No one ever sees any of this. Right, so let's just strain that into there. Perfect. Get rid of that. And I did, because I thought this would be the case, I have got some crushed ice just to kind of top that up. There we go. And then bitters. Do you want bitters? Do you not want bitters? I haven't put any bitters in here, but I think your aromatic bitters, whether it's Angostura, whether it's my Ms Betters bitters, I think they could work an absolute treat in here as well. So, I mean, let's just have a little taste. We can do this on the fly. Don't forget you've got your Monin Winter Spice in there anyway, so you probably don't need, get down there. There we go. So you might not need too much bitters. Oh my word, that is fantastic. It's that chocolate. It's that chocolate note to this stuff with the apple. I'm not going to put any bitters in there. I'm just going to leave that as it is. sprig of mint, just to kind of garnish that up. Sprig of mint. I've got a purple apple from Ferrand, just for a bit of color contrast. No, I'm not changing that at all. Recipe as is in the comments, but in the description below. This is fantastic. Oh my word, I could polish that off really easily. Coursed and pressed apple juice. That's what I've used in that. Whoa. Oh, is that my favourite? What I might do at the end of the live show is quickly remake that again, but add the sour, the honey and Amaretto sour, and just add a touch of my bitter, my kind of Campari equivalent, if you like. Right, let's get rid of that. Let's just have a quick wash there. So 3 cocktails done. I need a pot wash. I need a bar back for live videos, don't I? Where's Mummy Barman when you need her? Right, there we go. There you can go again. They're ready to go. So 3 cocktails done. Cocktail number 4. Let's get a bit of this. This is going to be fun, actually. No shaking needed for this. I tried this about an hour ago, just before I went live. And I was like, wow. Yeah, I'm impressed by this. First time I kind of ever made it. So I really like that. I've called it in the description, as you'll see, Caipirinha style, because I've got no name for this. So please, if you are watching live, let's get involved in some names, because I think this would really, really work a treat. So first things first, Caipirinha style, as I say. Is that a squidgy one? That's a squidgy one. Let's use that. Caipirinha, you want about 3/4 of a lime. So we're just going to chop that end bit off, chop that in half. That in half, leave that wedge to one side, and then just cube this. Perfect. So we've got essentially 3 wedges, 3/4 of a lime gone in there. The syrup I'm going to use, Real Ginger. So we're going for that. All right. Now, not too much of this. Again, we've got some. The whiskey is sweet, as I say. You really don't need much. I'm eyeballing, but I'm going 7.5, 10 ml. You know, that will actually give you quite lovely, luxurious ginger hit coming through the cocktail. I really do like this. So, muddler. So essentially, from the Caipirinha straight away, we've swapped the plain sugar that you would do for ginger syrup. All right. So I'm just going to kind of muddle this down, get all those lovely flavours out the zest, but all that juice out of the limes. That's what you want. But that's also being mixed in with that ginger syrup, ginger puree. Syrup puree infusion. There we go. Right, that can now sit in there. That's done. Right, now this is where it starts to get a little bit crazy. All right, let's add a bit of crushed ice. Perfect, that'll do. So I got this inspiration. I got this recipe from somewhere else, but I've taken it on a completely different direction here. So the ingredient I'm going to use, now you will know nothing about this. I'm not sure you'll even see it. If I get the light right, there we go. Dorian. Right. These are, as I say, these are the guys down the road from me, Vault in Saffron Walden. Dorian, if you are a foodie, is a restaurant, a very well-known restaurant in Notting Hill, and it was a collaboration between them. Now, the best way I can describe this, even though it's not, but the best way I would describe this to you is like a yellow chartreuse. It's not, because every kind of Amaro herbal liqueur uses different kind of, you know, fruits, flowers, herbs, spices. But this is kind of, you know, if I was going to classify it as anything, it'll be a yellow chartreuse. But listen to this. I have made a note of this, of what the herbs that they've used to infuse this with. So, marigold flowers and petals, sweet clove, pine, heather, oregano for our US people, oregano, meadowsweet, pink pepper, dandelion, burdock, rhubarb, gentian. Gentian is your bittering agent, so that's what makes things bitter. And then apricot and orange, amongst many other bitter roots, barks, and herbs. But then once that's all macerated in their base spirits, they've then sweetened this up with honey. All right, so your use case for this would be something like a white Negroni. and it makes an absolutely phenomenal white Negroni. But I'm kind of pairing this because of all those herbal notes. I know, and it's sweetened with honey. I know it's going to work really, really well with like honey whiskey. But as I said, mass market yellow Chartreuse. All right, that's where you're going for this. Now, I was also thinking about bitters. Where's my jigger gone? There it is. But there's so many different herbs and spices going on here. I don't think you need the bitters in this either. So we're just going for this. I'm going for 15 ml of Dorian. Just in there. Lovely jubbly. I mean, aroma-wise, it smells like yellow Chartreuse because you've got that gentian in there that is forward. It smells like your and Suze and things like that. But actually, taste-wise, it's just phenomenal. Such a good liqueur. Really, really love that. And then, yeah, let's do this. Yeah, we could get 50 ml in there straight away. And then 50 ml of your honey whiskey. I'm looking at these comments. No one's commented yet with that Canadian brand of, yes, they have. Crown. Thank you very much, Alho. Crown Royal, isn't it? Crown Royal. There it is. Right. Bit of that. Where's my spoon? Not too much more ice. Just going to give this a very quick churn. There you go. That'll do. Now, I know this is going to be like a controversial one for honey, especially Jack Daniel's honey lovers. They might look at this and think, no, what am I doing with like a yellow Chartreuse? No. But honestly, this is such a good cocktail. It really is. Right, there we go. Let's use that. What garnish have I got ready for that? Oh, I've got a dehydrated lime. There we go. Thrown a dehydrated lime. Right. Oh, wow. It's so many layers on that. And it's not bitter. Because you've got that ginger coming through there, because you've got that honey whiskey, that is really not bitter. But the bitter elements of those, all those roots, all those herbs and spices, that honestly, that is my favourite by a mile. By a mile. When I tasted this about an hour ago, that was wow. That is really, really good. I flipping love this. Definitely my favourite. Really, really love that. And then your fifth and final cocktail. Can I remember what it's called without scrolling? No, I can't. This is the fun, quirky one. I've taken this in a couple of different directions, tried them both, and I've ended up with this one. So the working title for this was a honey chocolate colada. The first way I went was out and out pina colada vibes. But the way I'm going to do this now is perhaps not so much pina colada, but close. All right, so it's not a creamy, coconutty kind of thing, but I am still using coconut puree. All right, so this is the shaken one. Right, so first ingredient. This is a split base. Again, we are going 25 ml of honey whiskey. The other part of your base is then Stiggins Fancy. Your you all know what this is, don't you? But there we go. Your pineapple rum, Plantaray pineapple rum, 25 ml. All right. So 25 ml of honey whiskey, 25 ml of pineapple rum. Right. Let's pop that away there. We then want some, that's why I brought this to the fore instead of banana. I've got my cacao out there. So this is Tempest Fugit cacao with a little bit of vanilla. And I want, come on, there we go. And I want 15 ml, 1.5. All right. 1.5, 15 ml. Really good stuff. You'll see that pop up in another video. Maybe Sunday, actually. You might see that come out to play on Sunday. Right. Real Coconut. Is that one there? I'm not going to measure this out, but it's all loose. Roughly 20 ml of your Real Coconut. There we go. Perfect. I am going to balance that with some saline solution. So 20% saline solution. If you've never made saline solution before, if you've never used salt in your cocktails before, definitely do it. I love salt in a pina colada. Pineapple and coconut with a little bit of salt works so well. So always when you make this, you only need to do small amounts. 20 grams of Cornish sea salt, but you could use Monin, but rock salt or sea salt. 20 grams of that to 80 grams of water. Don't measure it in a jigger, weigh it. And then so that's like a 20% saline solution. And you will need no more normally than 5 drops. 5 drops is about the universal kind of worldwide global measurement of saline solution when you do it at 20%. And those 5 drops will enhance those flavors, especially I think the pina colada for me is my favorite cocktail to use saline solution in. It is so good, but it works better when you've got big bold flavors going on. All right, so we're going to do 5 drops of saline. 8, 4, 5. You think most, when you cook, you are using salt and pepper when you're cooking to bring out flavors in food. It should be no different with cocktails. It is a new phenomenon. I would say maybe it's gathered pace in the last sort of 4 or 5 years, but bartenders have been doing it for about 10 years or so. And it's not really been a thing before that. And when you consider some of the big cocktails kind of stem from the 1800s, it was never a thing back then. But highly recommend trying some saline solution. Right, so I've got that. I've got my saline. The last thing should be pineapple juice. I think done. Yeah, 50 ml double bubble of pineapple juice. Now I am going to shake this. I think you could blend this up as well if you wanted to, but where's my? There it is. I think this will be all right. So this won't be an overly creamy cocktail because the only bit I've got in there is that coconut puree. If you use coconut milk, you're going to end up with a coconut, like a real sort of creamy one. But I think, I think this works quite well. So good hard shake. There we go. This is going to be a shake and dump. I was just going to get a straw to try it, but I don't need to. So shake and dump. Perfect. Look at that. Look at that. It's like he's done that before. I've got a little bit of Ferrand dried pineapple there. I think I've got 2. Why did I not use that other lime? Mint sprig. Let's whack a mint sprig in there. Lime? Mint. Let's whack a mint sprig in there. Right, straw. Fresh straw. Honey, coconut, pineapple then comes through. You get that little bit of salt, but that's amplified by that saline. It's so good. And you get those chocolate notes right at the end. It's a fun disco cocktail. That is, without doubt, a disco cocktail. I know a lot of people would probably never think of putting like coconut with a honey whiskey, but obviously it really does work. You don't have to be worried about that at all. So there we go. They are my 5 plus those highballs that I mentioned earlier. Let me know in the comments which one is your favorite. 5 absolute bangers there. I'm going to do that. I'm going to carry on, but I'm going to remake that with a bitter in the live stream. But if you want to watch that original Jack Daniel's honey video that I made 1,608 days ago, then dive into that video right there.